just go for it. Now there's never been a better time than before. Have that positive self-talk.
Yes.
Be confident in yourself. When you see a problem or a gap or have a vision or idea, just back yourself and go for it. Try it out. When I first started, I couldn't have even imagined what I'm doing today. In the technical field, things change so rapidly. But before I even started in the technology field, I actually worked at a hospital, slicing up human brains and replicating the DNA for a research project on Alzheimer's. My role is quite a mouthful, and a lot of people ask, what does that actually mean? Well, I work in IT as I lead teams of project managers and technical people to deliver strategic projects. It's probably the most newest and exciting thing, which is the Robotics Operations Centre, which I like to call the ROC. And the ROC is like a help desk for bots. These are software bots, not physical robots, and basically they automate the boring and repetitive work so our employees can focus more on creative tasks that are more challenging. I've always been quite driven and focused. There was a point in high school where I decided that I could do or be good at anything that I wanted, and that was a moment of change for me. I got that self-belief and confidence.
That's fantastic.
So what I found that were the big points of change in my career that brought success are taking the opportunities when they present themselves. And sometimes these can look like risky opportunities and not necessarily obviously the next step or level. And I found that taking those risks brought about the biggest step change in my career. So the ROC, Robotics Operations Centre, was an example of that. I saw a gap in the organisation, I had an idea and a vision, and I just went about and did it. And now I lead it, and I even have done international conferences and things, and a few years ago I didn't know anything about automation.
That's fantastic.
Work out a way to add value. So I think there's many things that make a great leader. Leaders who really know how to motivate people, and that's quite a difficult thing because each individual has different things that motivate them. So what I've found is that you don't need to wait to be asked or seek permission, just go there and do it. And some of my biggest successes have been because of that. And the other one is definitely believe in yourself. And have that positive self-talk, because if you don't have that, then the rest is much harder.
And how would you say you've overcome any negative self-talk that you've had?
So it's changing the narrative in my head. And actually changing, that voice in your head and the self-talk that you have, changing the story there and making it positive. Not allowing yourself to think that you can't or it's just luck, and just knowing that, And even when you don't know it, make it positive. So with Nexia, we have what my children call a family conference holiday. Annually with other families from Nexia. That's where partners go to a conference and the families go along to enjoy dinner, a holiday, and get to know each other. So my family and work life really have fused and melded together. So the kids don't just see us as working all the time, they actually think work is a fun place and they're part of it. They know the people we work with.
That's great.
And they know their families as well. So it's part of life.
Have you ever struggled with your belief or your self-confidence?
Yes, there have been definite moments like that. One of the ones that particularly comes to mind was when I had my first management position. And I was talking to a friend of mine and she asked me, how's the new role going? And after I spoke to her about my feelings, she said, Ruth, you're not lucky to get the job. You got the job because you were the best person for the job. And that really changed things for me. She talked to me about imposter syndrome and that sort of thing. It really made me understand that this was a common feeling and it helped change the narrative in my head. So for me, it's not about one specific woman or even a woman, but things inspirational leaders do that inspire me. What makes leaders great, about motivating teams, about giving people the opportunity to grow and
such a brilliant way to end the interview. Thank you so much for your time and for joining us today throughout these series. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you all for watching, and we will speak to you all soon.